Becky Lynch has left WWE and become a free agent. The first name has been revealed for the TNT title ladder match, and Chris Jericho's stepping down from AEW roles. Stay tuned for all the learning tree deeds. So there has been a lot of speculation over the past 2 weeks surrounding Becky Lynch's contract. Speculation, if you, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of speculation around Becky Lynch.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Becky Lynch contract.
Speculation.
Yeah? Along with, many other WWE contracts that seem to be expiring. We touched on this
referred to that earlier on.
Yeah. But it's been the talking point of the wrestling world is Becky Lynch's contract situation, of course. As of today, however, due to her WWE contract expiring and no new deal being reached, she's officially a free agent and has left WWE in terms of, being contractually bound to the company.
Yeah, and this is one that we've kind of covered throughout this week. Myself and Tom were discussing it the other day on the news, where Fightful had sort of said that no deal had been reached at this time, and it wasn't looking likely at this point. Obviously, both sides, from what reports have been saying, there has been class, and she's been very, it's been very professional, but she is looking to have an extended break.
Well, yeah, it means that companies are now allowed to negotiate with her, but as you said, it does appear she's just looking for a bit of a break away from the ring, which has got to be understandable. You got a young family on the go.
Yeah.
You've been going so hard for so long, like both of yous going so hard for so long, you need a bit of time off from time to time. Apparently, she's not looking to go to another company such as AEW or TNA, but Fightful reported recently that WWE have expressed a desire to keep her in the company as well, and it's expected that they'll ultimately come to a new arrangement to see her return. It's also expected she'll receive the highest contract offer ever received by a woman in wrestling.
Which, you know what? That's not a surprise.
No, but it's gonna be juicy in like 10, 15 years when we've got all these shoot interviews coming out about and then I was highest paid.
Yeah.
Until that.
Well, yeah, because
horrible.
At the start of the year, we had Charlotte Flair re-signing a new contract with WWE.
Biggest contract ever.
Biggest contract ever.
Mercedes Moné going, I'm going to one-up you, and I'm going to go to the opposite company. I'm going to make huge waves, and I'm going to be the biggest star ever. And now we got Becky just going, I'm going to just go home for a bit, come back, and
I'll just have
I'm
all the
worth
money.
More than all of you.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Becky is one of the top stars of the past 10 years. She's like one of the faces of WWE.
One of the faces of the women's revolution.
100%. And having that bargaining chip of being a free agent, realistically, I don't think there's any chance she goes to AEW.
No, but you gotta pick up the phone to get a couple of extra zeros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listening to that offer and just being like, well, that's what I'm worth to another company.
Tony, can you add 5 more zeros, please?
Yeah,
I will definitely sign if you just add 5 more and send me that contract so I can show it to everybody else.
Well, realistically, both companies are going to offer whatever.
Money. You don't want to let Becky Lynch slip through your fingers if you're WWE, and if you're AEW, you're going to do everything you can and move heaven and earth to try and even gently tempt her.
And if she's there, you wouldn't not offer.
Exactly.
Like it's baffling that they wouldn't. I think we will see her back in WWE. I'm feeling, if they're saying it, and reports are saying it's an extended break, I'm feeling Rumble next year, maybe going into WrestleMania, maybe post WrestleMania, night after WrestleMania next year she comes back.
Night after WrestleMania could be huge. Rumble return, especially if it was surprise and kept very close to the chest. It would be amazing. That would be absolutely unreal. So looking forward to seeing what eventually happens.
Whatever
with
she
Becky's
does.
Contract.
Yeah.
Maybe she does end up jumping ship. The whole world will change. But we got some more news about a former WWE name now. Following his release from WWE last month, it's been revealed that WWE's next biggest star ever signed a next-in-line contract. Look at him, Olympian. He's an ex-Kurt Angle. Oh, he's dripping in charisma. It's Gable Steveson, and now he's been released. But he is making the jump to NFL, as reported by ESPN. He signed a deal with the Buffalo Bills. Boo. He has no prior experience in the NFL or with American football, but reports following his WWE release indicate that multiple teams were interested in him. His explosive speed, in terms of and his agility,
he's a collegiate level athlete, an Olympian. It's no surprise that companies and different industries are interested.
He's going to have to probably work his way up from a training team first, but in time, you can just see him working in a league like the NFL, right? Yeah,
absolutely. And it was revealed in that same report that he is playing as a defensive lineman, I believe. I'm not
just
too familiar.
Just be a big fridge. That's all you got to do.
Is that the role?
The quarterback getting sacked.
Well, there you go. That's
stop the lads trying to get through.
That's his job.
And then he'll just suplex one of them. and then we're going to get some more drama in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Trevor Lee, though, former WWE star Cameron Grimes, responded to this news on Twitter. So there's a little bit of history between the two of them. They had a dark match on SmackDown or before SmackDown, and it was filmed by people in the crowd. I think that's the match in which Gable Steveson just did an unnecessary backflip, and it made no sense. Anyway, Trevor Lee responded to someone asking what position is he playing. He says, whichever one requires the least amount of work and has other people making him look good, I'm assuming. Wait, wrong sport.
Oh.
Little dig at Mr. Steveson there. Look, he didn't land in WWE. Nope. Unsurprisingly, it just did not seem like a good fit for him.
Also, a lot of controversy surrounding Gable Steveson as a person, and it's going to sound horrible to say this, but the NFL seems to have this stuff happen all the time. So I don't know if it's one of those where WWE were starting to sense that maybe this isn't going to work out the way we thought in ring, and also there's a lot going on here outside of the ring. Like, do we really want to deal with that?
Do you cut your losses and just go? They have done that. They've got rid of Gable Steveson. I mean, best of luck in the NFL, but I kind of hope he doesn't come back to wrestling at any point in the future. It's not a good relationship.
It feels like the avenue was explored, and it just wasn't one that was ever going to kind of pan out. And ultimately, when you've got the big marketing machine of WWE behind you, touting you as the next big star, and it doesn't pan out, it's sort of you know. But moving over to the other side of the fence now, we've had a name revealed for the TNT ladder match.
We have indeed. Of course, this past week on AEW Dynamite, the Young Bucks stripped Adam Copeland off his TNT Championship after he did a jump off the top of a cage at 50 years old and broke his leg. It's unsurprising. Props to him, but it looked very painful. But he has been stripped of that TNT Championship, which really sucks. He was having a great run with it. And there was announced a ladder match at Forbidden Door will crown the new champion. That was done by Christopher Daniels. The first name added to that match is Konosuke Takeshita, who beat Pentagon Jr., Penta El Zero Miedo, on Rampage last night. Takeshita, I feel, is... He's
waiting for that big sort of breakout moment.
This could be it. I don't think it will be, because I think that's going to go to Jack Perry when he gets added to the match, kind of like Brock Lesnar did at Money in the Bank.
He's just going to say, if you don't give me it, I'm going to make you set me on fire and throw me through some real glass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's being set up for Jack Perry to take this title. Yeah. It makes the most sense to me. Have him come in last minute, just saunter in, take the belt. That's heat. And he's doing well.
So how did Edge, by the way, did you ever see King of the Hill?
King of the Hill?
Yeah, like the old animated TV show. Yeah.
I'm familiar with it.
You know Cotton Hill, how he's got no shins because of the war, so they just stuck his feet to his knees. How wasn't Edge walking like after that match? Yeah. Where it's just like can't bend. It's just like straight.
That adrenaline that he had,
it blew my mind.
Hey, look, this ladder match, I feel like is a little bit of a nod to Adam Copeland's past with the ladder matches and the TLC matches.
So the big surprise is that he's actually going to run in, ultimate opportunist, and he's going to win it somehow.
I'd like to see, who else would you like to see in this match? Me, Christian Cage, Jack Perry.
Christian makes the most sense. Yeah, I think Christian going in there and especially
trying to get that belt back.
But and throwing in the little sort of dangling carrot of Jack Perry there with Christian.
Yeah.
Even though they've moved on to a completely different sphere. Well, not really Christian. Christian's still on the same.
Christian's still.
But like they've sort of moved into weirder differences, like weirder areas. But I think that having that dynamic being revisited or maybe put to bed once and for all with Perry maybe fending off Christian at the very end to win it.
I think we'll also see Wardlow. Chuck Wardlow in there because we've not seen him much. And he's got history with the team.
Power guy in ladder matches. I'm always a big fan of that.
Have a big meaty men slapping metal.
Slapping metal, but metal between meat. Just rubbing the meat on the metal. But keeping it with AEW, there's also been a lot of talk recently surrounding the current talks with Warner Brothers Discovery, the media rights, everything else that's been going on. Obviously, with WWE being a public company, we get all that information a lot more readily than you do with private company, where everything's a bit more close to the chest. But they're currently in talks, as I was saying, with Warner Brothers Discovery over renewing their US TV deal. Meltzer has reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that current talks have centered around the TV rights for Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, as well as shoulder programming shoulder programming and streaming rights. The money being discussed between AEW and Warner apparently is considerably more than the $110 million per year, which would make AEW profitable, apparently. AEW's current TV deal for the US gives them about $80 million for 2024 after Warner Brothers Discovery exercised an option year, meaning AEW's new arrangement could be between $120 to $160 million. Meltzer noted that even the low end of the estimate would make AEW significantly profitable in 2025. There's been a lot of talk about, especially Meltzer's Meltzer's phrasing of profit versus like something being profitable versus like making money, and it's all of the tribal thing is like Tony's just wasting money, and nobody really knows the ins and outs of what's going on there. But I think that it was reported last week, he was looking for more of an over the top deal, just everything, right? Like just all of the historical programming, all of the weekly, just get it in one big lump, get it onto one app, and make sure it's all sort of easily accessible. Which has got to be the dream. It's just log in, boom, it's all there. It's it's on a platform where many people have it, even if they don't watch wrestling. That's got to be the goal. So fingers crossed they can get and sort of reach that sort of agreement with them. Yeah. But if not, even just for the media rights, just for the TV programming to be maybe 110.
110 is a very, very good deal.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
Their option year, of course, as Sam had said, they're $80 million. Prior to that, though, their deal, I believe, was around a $55 million per year deal. So this is, if they get the 110, that is double the amount they were making before. That is an incredible increase for the company, especially a company only 5 years old.
Think of all the new toys.
Well, there's that. And the thing that I've seen a lot of people confusion about online is if it's 110 million or more, that doesn't sound like as big a number as what WWE received from Netflix. Now, WWE's been around for about, 50 odd plus years.
Yeah, they own the libraries of many companies, not just themselves. And there's the documentary stuff. There's all of the over-the-top delivery of like, hey, we've got a whole show about tattoos. We got a whole show about pranks. Like
their $5 billion deal with Netflix is for everything over 5 years internationally as well. This 110 million or more.
Just for the US.
Just for the US. So it's quite a significant deal. It is a lot of money. And as the report says, it would make AEW profitable.
But you've also got to think that this exact approach is going to be being taken in Europe, India, as many markets as possible. Any way you can consolidate everything onto just one app. And especially if it's a general app, like not that it would be Netflix with Netflix and WWE now, but like an app of that kind of magnitude where many people already have it ready to go.
It's just easy access.
And then it's about enticing people over there. And it becomes less about, well, where do you find it? More about like, why aren't you watching it?
So the one thing that me and Aidan, our editor-in-chief at Cultaholic.com, were discussing yesterday about this report was the fact that pay-per-views alone in pay-per-view buys make roughly 50 million give or take per year. So from a standpoint of doing a complete over-the-top package deal that included everything, your TV shows, your pay-per-views, all your streaming rights, you would expect the company to go, hey, we know we're going to make this, add that on top of the deal. That's probably where a lot of this waiting has come from. This is speculation at this point, but the waiting for this deal to be announced. It looks like we're going to get something soon, but either way, it looks like AEW is going to be making bank from this.
And it also looks like somebody's going to be stepping down from some major roles behind the scenes in the company. And that is Chris Jericho, revealing on last night's AEW Rampage that he's going to be stepping down from his role as a commentator on AEW Rampage so he can spend more time on Dynamite and Collision, probably 3 or 4 or 5 segments a week, because, I love having my face on TV.
Yeah, so he is actually stepping down from his official role on commentary, but he has given a great learning tree lesson here. He's given us a lesson as to why he's done that. He's wanting to show all of the lovely people at home his face because he just loves being on TV.
He wants to get his legs out more, and he can't do that if he's sat behind a desk, right?
Exactly.
Get in the Y fronts, get in the ring, and
make them smaller.
Make them smaller. Yeah,
absolutely, Chris.
They need to be positively Speedo level for when you get to Wembley and Fozzy make a surprise appearance again that nobody can see coming.
And he looks like Bart Simpson in that one episode.
Ideally, cowboy hat. Gently thrust in.
That's what we all want to see.
That's what Wembley wants, Jericho. But he's been on again, off again, as you said, anyway. So it's not really that surprising that maybe it would have eventually come to a complete halt.
He's kind of been there, done a few weeks, off again, gone back on. It's most recently been Matt Menard that's been taking over roles, and it looks like going forward,
he's
Matt Menard
is full-time replacement. Yeah,
absolutely.
And Menard's great, so I think it's one of those where
but
ultimately
you could say he's daddy magic.
You're losing something, but you're gaining more of what you would prefer out of Jericho rather than commentary,
absolutely.
right? More segments on TV, etc., etc. Well, that was it for your second dose of lovely bumper weekend news. We may be back later on if any more news breaks, but if not, in the meantime, keep it here with us all weekend. We've got plenty of content coming your way. The podcast is up on the channel now. Get it digested. It's a beefy boy.
Over 5 hours.
Just absolutely, God, no, I don't know how they do it. We'll catch you in a bit. Bye.